Welcome to the Hot Rod Hangout Podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Ashley.
And tonight's episode is all about updates. So we'll start with the shop updates.
Oh, yes.
It's always a good day when you get new tools.
It's like Christmas.
It is. That was a big old package.
Yes, it was.
So we'll address the elephant. If you've seen the picture today, my Model A chassis and body are back at Hot Rod Hangout headquarters. So with us taking that build on, we've decided that we're just going to take our time. I have an image in my head. And with taking our time is going to come with we're not pinching every penny. So if there's a tool that's going to make our jobs and our lives easier, we're going to go get it. So last night we went and picked up a gantry crane to be able to lift bodies and engines and all of that cool stuff. And it would have came in real handy last night while we were trying to unload the gantry out of the bed of my pickup truck.
Yeah.
We had to unload it one piece at a time.
Yes.
Like old Johnny Cash. One piece at a time.
Oh, goodness.
Just because that box was heavy.
Yeah.
But
well, even some of the beams that we had to pull out of it.
Yeah, it was a little awkward
heavy.
and trying to stand it up, which we figured that out pretty easily today. But I was watching a video last night after we got home, and the guy's like, he's using his chain hoist, and I'm like, well, the whole reason I got the gantry is because I need a chain hoist. If you have somewhere to hang a chain hoist, you don't need the gantry, sir. But
well, maybe his chain hoist wasn't on wheels.
It wasn't. It was in the ceiling, though. Like, it was mounted to his roof. I'm like, you have rollers under the car. Like, roll the car to where you need it.
Well, yeah.
But it's all good. So we got that. We have power to the sub panel.
Yes.
That's about as far as we went. No. We needed a bus bar for the grounds for the sub panel, so we didn't really wire anything switch wise or outlets in yet. But so that's coming.
Mm-hmm. We do have some outlets wired in, just not.
Ashley's been handling the outlet wiring.
Yeah. A little scary.
She made it. There's no power to any of that yet.
No, I'm saying it's scary that I'm doing it.
Yeah. But so we're gonna hopefully have electric outlets.
Yeah.
By this weekend.
Still gotta figure out how to get to the ceiling on the inside.
Just a really, really tall A-frame lighter is the only way I can think of it, I guess. But we'll cross that bridge when we come.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll climb up on the gantry. Just hook the hooks on my... Chain me up.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we got that. And there's a couple other things that we're going to pick up to kind of make life a little easier for us. And that's pretty much the shop updates. All right.
Alrighty.
Well, moving on. Car updates.
Yeah.
Michelangelo is
Michelangelo.
He's the OG. I cannot say anything bad about that car. He might be a little ugly, but
hey, now we get a lot of compliments on that.
We
car.
do, and that's I took it to work on Monday because still had the trailer hooked up from picking up the chassis. Yes. For the Model A, and so Ashley needed to go. Oh, she was taking the dogs to the vet.
Yeah.
So she needed her car. So I was like, well, it's a good excuse. I mean, it won't be. It's not like I drive real long.
No.
So took Michelangelo, and I posted him on Monday.
Yeah.
Good way to start the week out. And for anybody that's got old cars or unique cars, there's just a different feeling than driving, like my Ram is supposed to start. It's not supposed to rattle. There's not supposed to be door, air noise and, that whole AC stuff and, all that, But driving an old car or something that you don't see every day is, it kind of gives you a little warm and fuzzy, and you get looks and thumbs ups and, all that stuff. And it kind of, it's been needed, the car culture or this, the podcast and the YouTube and the Instagram and the Facebook and the TikTok and all that is, just us enjoying and showing the enjoyment that we get from cars and trying to spread that to bring in as many people as we can, to kind of make people understand like why we do it. A bad day and a bad night in the shop is way better than any day at work, so, and the looks and, I stopped and got gas and little kid, oh, he's never seen one.
Yeah.
What is that? I love that, and that's what it's really all about. And kind of just furthering, the passion, because it comes in waves. I mean, the hot rods were really big, and then, gas war, or then muscle cars, and then the gas crisis where, gas went up to like 25 cents and everybody sold all their cars. And it's like, wish I could get some gasoline for 25 cents now, but I wasn't around for that time. But, and even newer stuff, I know we shouted it out on live, but shout out again, Kenna with BP Customs, or Britton and Kenna with BP Customs. Her new Colorados, that truck's clean.
Yeah.
I dig it. And they're going to put their own little touch on it and make it cooler.
Yep.
And with us coming to an agreement that we're going to do the Model A ourselves, he's going to be able to do stuff in the mini truck world, which is where his base is.
Yeah.
So the Model A is back over here. It's not on the back burner, but we're going to take a little bit of time to kind of assess what route we want to take going forward. Just like all car guys, like I have a picture of that car done in my head. I have a lot of cars done in my head. I just don't own them.
Well, you own 2 of them.
I do.
Yeah.
But Michelangelo is going to be you.
Yeah, but
I'm going to guide you on things that I think, but it's ultimately up to you. That if you ask me a question, I'll tell you what I feel, but if you want dingle balls hanging from the roof, like there'll be dingle balls.
You. No, thank you.
No crushed velvet on the headliner?
No.
Come on.
Nope, I'm good.
Lace paint on the roof?
Well,
with some graphics or something?
Well, we'll see about that.
But rim choice, stuff like that. And with Michelangelo, there's more opportunities, with the Model A. It's kind of limited.
Right. But I'm also, we're also limited on Michelangelo because he's got fenders. Like, we tried to take one of the wheels for Snow White and put it on Michelangelo, and it didn't fit.
Well, that's because Snow White's wheels have such a high back spacing.
Yeah.
Or low back spacing, rather. 3.5 inches.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to run that low of a back spacing on Michelangelo, we'd have to narrow that rear end.
Yeah.
So you just put the right offset.
Yeah.
But finding offset in the half widths. You know, an 8-inch rim with 5 inches of back spacing is easy to find.
Right.
10-inch wide rim with 3.5-inch back spacing.
Not so much.
There's one company, Mob Steel. I mean, and others do it, but it would be custom. They don't. You can't just call them and order them.
Yeah.
Which Mob Steel, I think I've talked about that. They were fantastic. Very, very easy to deal with. But with having to go with them, the wheel cost was a little higher.
Yeah.
And there's certain things, you know, we've said it before, you know, you're dealing with your bullshit. Mm-hmm. The Model A has its own unique bullshit.
Yeah.
The 54 has a lot of its bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's different bullshit. And it's nothing that can't be corrected. Mm-hmm. There's just everything, no matter what car it is, or truck, or van, or motorcycle, or whatever, there's going to be things that, especially if you're pushing outside of the norm.
Yeah.
You know, in this process with Snow White, we have discovered why no one puts air out on the front end of a Model A.
Yeah. The pain in the butt.
You know, they sell a kit, and we bought the kit knowing we were going to have to do some modifications to it to kind of make what we were using work with it. Mm. But it ended up binding like crazy, and you know, I have very little knowledge on air ride. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't really offer any like, oh, we'll just, you know, swap this around. Whereas Britton with BP Customs has a lot of air ride knowledge, and he was like, well, nope, it's binding. Like that's what it is. And he's like, let's just run a straight bar. It'll still hide the air ride. The bags will still go into the big cross member. Mm-hmm. So when it's laid out, it'll look like it's static, or it'll look like it's just sitting on the ground, with no way of getting it up. Damn, could have named that truck or car Viagra.
Oh my goodness!
Gotta get it up, but no. So, and then like the 54, the front end design doesn't kind of aid in smooth ride, good steering. You know, there's been stuff like that steering box needs addressed. That steering on Michelangelo needs addressed.
Yeah.
But it was always like, oh, well, we're going to change it to Mustang 2 or subframe it of some sorts to get better steering. So we didn't really want to spend the money that was just going to get replaced. But now with everything going on, we may find something that will work for future plans.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could put an S10 box on it.
And see, that's where I'm like, I don't know.
You know, and that, but I've that's kind of funny. I've dealt with straight axles, like what's under Snow White, and I've dealt with, you know, control arm suspension. I've never really messed with straight axle control arm like Michelangelo.
Yeah, he's an odd bird.
Well, I mean, that's so. Snow White has a straight axle. Newer cars have control arms. Michelangelo has both. It's
Ta-da.
like a modified, which it was, you know, and that's the progress that, you know, cars have made through the years. And there's some bitchin' 50s, you know, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. And then the Tri-5, that's when they started figuring it out better.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bitchin' cars that are static, bagged, and people have bagged stock front ends. It takes a lot of engineering. And, you know, there's there's a whole lot of avenues you can take, and that's kind of what we want to show. And we're going to try to get back to kind of showing like there's stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
And the deal with BP Customs, it wasn't like a breakup. We're not mad at each other. You know, we're not getting a divorce. We're still friends.
Yeah.
I still want them to succeed, and anything we can do to help, we're here for. And I know it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know, they want the Model A to be done looking killer too. Like, you know, and that's the car community in general. Like, if stuff isn't working, I don't even want to say it wasn't working. Like, if stuff isn't kind of going the way it needs to go, sometimes you need to take a step back, kind of address it. Like, there's a reason why the Model A chassis is sitting on the ground out there. We haven't done anything on it. Because I'm still processing, like, what's the best way to go about doing what we want to do.
Yeah. And we'll figure it out. Just
oh yeah, but that's part of the process. Is there's a lot of things, and I'm very, very bad. I am very guilty of this. Something comes up, and you just stack on. You just go. Well, now you're 5 steps past where you could have just made a left turn and it'd have been done. Mm-hmm. You know, something's not going right. Walk away. Go have an adult beverage. Go eat a slice of pizza. Then come back and look at it. And the answer might be right in front of you. Or, you know, this car hobby has a lot of car guys and girls. But, you know, I've talked about it numerous times where we're having, on Michelangelo, we're having a problem, or we were trying to figure something out, and I'm getting frustrated because what I'm trying to do isn't working. And it feels like we're kind of going backwards, and you walk over and it's a simple, like, what if we just change that to over there? And it may not, sometimes it is the answer, and I'm just overthinking it or overcomplicating the problem. Or sometimes it's like a learning opportunity where I can say, well, we can't do that because of this. Right. And then that triggers in your head, well, if we can't do that because of this, why don't we do this to do this? And, you know, move it around and figure it out, you know, and that's what this is all about. Like, you don't have to have $100,000 car to get out and enjoy it.
Right.
You know, and
you can have rusty bucket of bolts like Michelangelo.
And a plastic zip tie.
Yes.
And when we start taking that car apart, we'll find stuff. There's stuff on that car that I have seen that I have compartmentalized into the back of my head that I don't want to think about. There's going to be some floor repair when that car gets... I was going to
say, you don't want to think about the license plate.
The Coors Pony Keg.
Yeah.
Heat shield.
Well, if it works.
and that's, you know, not to get on too far of a tangent, but there's so many terms that gets people riled up. I wouldn't consider either one of our cars rat rods. But if someone walked up to me and went, hey man, that's a really cool rat rod 54, I'd been like, cool, thanks. Mm-hmm. It's not worth an argument over.
Yeah.
But there's people that if you called their shit a rat rod, even if it does lean more rat rod, you know, and it would ruin their whole day. Well, First of all, take a chill pill.
Right.
That person may not be as in depth to the 85,000 different, we always, people always joke about the 14 genders or the whatevers.
Right.
Like we do in the car community. Oh, it's not a mini truck. It's a this. Well, okay. It's not a rat rod. It's a this. Oh, okay. Well, it's a traditional hot rod. Okay. People on the outside world see like, okay, it's a not a done project.
Right.
Yes, if you weld spider webs on your hood and you have the little rat figure and all of that stuff, you're trying to build a rat rod. That's completely different. But it's not so much different that a normal person that has maybe they want to get into this. Maybe they just have, maybe all they've ever seen was shiny hot rods. But there's a distinction there too, because a guy with a badass street rod, if you called his car a hot rod, he'd have the same reaction as calling that other guy's car a rat rod. Oh, it's not a hot rod, it's a street rod. It's got AC and it's got this and it's got that. Well, for the average person walking by, and even, we named our podcast Hot Rod. It has absolutely nothing to do with hot rods in the traditional, like, hopped up hot rod.
Right.
It's a modified to your liking car, truck, SUV, van, scooter.
Combination thereof.
I don't care. And I'll say it again, and I'll say it every episode. I don't care what you have.
Yeah.
If you like it, it's your car. Whether you're paying the bank for it or you found a rusty bucket and made it run enough to come to the Cove on the third Sunday of every month to cruise with us. Cool. People that get so tied up in like, oh, it has to be this and it has to be, and there's a lot of shows that are like that. Like, oh, it has to be pre-65 and it has to be this and it can't have this and it can't do this. And it's, if a dude rolls up and a good example, a gentleman that my dad used to work for, they built, he helped the last rendition of a really well-known mini truck. And Mr. Howard, which was Justin Smith's dad that owned the mini truck, was working for Lee as well, and Lee got into it. So he had a OBS way before OBSs were like super cool, and it had a sick, nasty paint job on it because he was a painter. And when you're a painter, you paint obnoxious stuff on your car to prove that you can do it.
Yeah.
And he bagged it, and it was a very nice car, or nice truck. But he's an old school cat, so he wanted something old. So they chopped the frame down and put it under an International KB truck, but it still had billet wheels on it. It was a complete quote-unquote rat rod, but it had billet wheels on it. Well, why did it have billet wheels on it? Because the truck that they cut up had billet wheels on it. He wasn't going to buy new rims. He already had rims.
Using what you got.
Using what you had. And, it was a ratty truck, but he could get up on 75, and it was I think a 96 or something truck underneath a 50 or 60-year-old pickup truck, and he got turned away at a show because his truck had billets on it. And it's like,
Jeez.
you know, and it's just, you don't have to build what everyone else does. Now, if you dig a Model A with a 32 grill and a flathead motor and, you know, period correct salt flat wheels and yada, 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 if that's what you dig and that's what you want to build it.
Yeah.
I'm still going to tell you it's a nice car because I dig that style too. It's just not for me because there's so many, you know, we used to say Fox Body Mustangs with the Me Too. Oh, I got a Mustang. Me too. You know, like that was, you know, I've never really kind of liked to kind of fit in. You know, I always wanted the weird, you know, so when we had the opportunity to buy Michelangelo, I hadn't seen one. So we bought it. It's a cool ride. Now everybody and their mother has them, but
Yeah.
you know, and the Model A, everyone leaves, which we've now figured out why, but everyone only puts rear air ride because the front end doesn't really have to move a whole lot to get the ass end to sit on the ground
Yeah.
or to get the frame to sit on the ground. Well, we took it up a notch. We put front and rear. You know, I kind of wanted to do a flathead motor, but I don't know a whole lot about flatheads. I know a little bit about a small block Chevrolet. So that's what's going in the car. You know, there was the rear end, you know, the rear end's as a Model A for sedans have a pretty wide body. So we had to search around and had the funny episode at the pick and pull.
Yeah.
Well, I need to know a year. No, it doesn't matter. It does. It doesn't. It's going into 29. You know,
People don't believe you when you say that.
they didn't make a Camaro in 29. You're right, they didn't. You know, but it's all good, and that's all part of it. I mean, so we're gonna take a little bit of time just to kind of enjoy the process. Mm-hmm. Stress doesn't really do anything good for you. We've briefly touched. I had stress-related issues or health-related issues that was caused by stress, and I don't need to do that to myself anymore.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do what we can do, and like I said, there probably won't be any updates directly. You may see the car in the back of photos or something because, I mean, we are still working out of a carport. So any pictures that we post may have Snow White sitting in the background, but we're not going to really do any big updates till after the January show. So if you want to be the first ones to see it, come out to the January show. And that again is January 4th at Big Daddy Don Garlitz Drag Race Museum in Bellevue, Florida. Pre-registration is open, and there's only one way to pre-register, and that is on the HotRodHangout.com.
Yes.
So make sure you go check it out. Still working on merch.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ashley's got the new logo in rough draft status.
Yes.
The OG logo, we just got to figure out how to get it to go big without bleeding.
That's all right. You're gonna have a little trouble, but we'll figure it out.
I have an idea on that. I'll talk to you about it. But we have koozies, or we're gonna have koozies. Mm-hmm. We have the koozies.
Yes.
We physically have the koozies.
Yes.
But there's nothing on them yet.
No, we don't even have the
We
heat
do not
press
have
yet.
the heat press. And we're still working on hats. Unfortunately, when we talked about merch, there was a couple people that said that they would like pocket shirts. With us doing it ourselves, that may be something that can come at a later time. The OG shirt, or OG logo shirt, and the new logo shirt will drop October 1st.
Yes.
The first week or two may be longer shipping time while we get everything figured out. And because we've never sold an item on the website, so we still have to figure that out. Getting everything lined up. We're trying to make progress every day. And that's what it's really all about is, we have big dreams, big goals, and we're going to take small, manageable bites.
Yep.
And we're going to get there. And with that being said, guys, we really, really appreciate every single one of you that listens, that comments, that hops on the lives with us on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We really appreciate the sponsors that have came on. We appreciate everyone that's pre-registered for the show already. We look forward to meeting y'all. It should be a badass time.
Oh, yeah.
We're still working on details of the cruise afterwards. And it may be 2 or 3 different cruises. We're trying to mesh everybody together for the show, but if mini truck guys want tacos and the hot rod guys want something else, and there may be 4 or 5 trips, and you just get in where you fit in. Pick the food that you want to go to and go. Basically, any vehicle is welcome. Pre-registration gets you a goodie bag. Everything in the goodie bag can be purchased, but it would be way cheaper just to get the goodie bag with pre-registration. Plus, you save $5.
Yep.
So you're saving $5 and you're getting like $10 worth of free stuff. But the 50/50 will be in benefit of Ryland Strong Network, childhood cancer. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. It's an awesome cause. Hometown Hot Rodder and Hometown Hot Rodder Jr. will be in the building. Slinging merch. Probably will have some Redline Raceway at Cedar Creek shirts, merch to sling. Johnny Jalopy.
Yep.
We'll have Shift and Shutter Photography in the house.
We'll have a few different companies, few different people with merch, and maybe a vendor or two.
But yeah, we got Rat Rods Wood Fire Pizza, and mystery barbecue truck that we haven't got the details on. But we are still looking for food trucks. If you're in the Ocala, Bellevue area and you would like to come sling some food, reach out.
Yep.
Or if you're far away and you want to come sling some food, Bear Cafe, hook your trailer to Brian's Lexus and come on.
Jeez.
Some smash burgers. But yeah, and it should be a good time. Again, it is our first one, so there's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some running around. There's going to be some figuring stuff out. But every year it's going to get better. And with the support that we've been shown, it seems like we're going to be around for a little while. You know, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
So people actually like hearing us talk. And the guests that are coming on, and we're lined up for the next
few weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
So you won't have to listen to me and Ashley talk. It'll be other people. We are working, and again, that's part of this whole taking a step back and looking at and kind of resetting the game plan. We're going to get better at that.
Yeah.
We're going to get better at trying to promote other stuff. We're going to try to get back focused on, you know, what we were trying to do. And then, you know, with trying to put the car together, you know, money was kind of funneled there. It was to that car. It wasn't, we weren't really doing a whole lot outside of that.
Yeah.
But I want to come support local shows. It's tomorrow in Denellen is putting on, they're doing a little drive-in, which their show has gotten bigger. They do kind of a cruise-in type thing like we do at the Cove. Mm-hmm. And it's getting bigger, and they're getting numbers and stuff like that. Definitely want to go check them out. I want to start getting in a routine of going and checking out the third Friday with in downtown Inverness. Want to make a trip out to Kissimmee again. You know, go out and support, kind of get the word out and kind of show our support, because, you know, the last hashtag in all of our posts are support those who support us. So, you know, it's kind of time to put up or shut up.
Yeah.
You know, I also want to give a shout out to everybody that reaches out, asks questions, kind of checks in if, you know, we go distant for a little while, like, hey, what's going on? Everything good? Like, I appreciate every one of y'all for the support. And really, I mean, we are still a small podcast. We're still doing this out of our own account.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate to be able to do what we do. But it's getting time where we're going to have to start making something. Mm-hmm. And, you know, whether that's getting back into the flipping the cars, doing little stuff and flipping them, just got to make Ashley not fall in love with them.
That's not going to be hard.
You fell in love with Michelangelo.
Yeah, but we were planning on keeping him. If it's a flip, it'll stay a flip.
We weren't going to own that car for long.
I thought we were. I thought that was the whole plan.
Why do you think it says for sale or trade on it?
Because that's what we're going to put on all of our vehicles. But we're not. It's not like it's actively listed on the marketplace.
It's been in car corrals.
Well, yeah.
No, it's everything in my yard's perpetually for sale. If you got enough money, you can own it.
Yeah.
I'll wipe my tears with $100 bills. But also, just a shout out, if you are looking for a Model A chassis, I have a stock Model A chassis. Still has a transmission. I'm going to pull the motor just because I don't want no funny business. Because I'm going to own the title that has that engine number on it. So I will pull the motor. Plus, I want to go through it. You know, I've never seen the inside of a four-banger. So we have that for sale.
Yep.
And we have a 32 chassis or 32 frame rails with cross members and boxing plates with a 9-inch. I have wheels to help you get it on a trailer, but I am taking my wheels once it gets on your trailer. Unless you want to buy the wheels too. I have center caps for them, but
Yeah.
they're 40 style wheels that have been widened. So 5 on 5.5.
Heck yeah.
Pretty cool wheels. Pretty old school too. Red. If you've been following the page for a while, you've seen it. It's the one that was underneath the 32
Yeah.
truck. Which 32 truck is gone.
Yeah.
But
Been gone for a little while.
do have a little bit of small block parts. If somebody's in need of those. Short water pump, stuff like that. And anything, we've been fortunate that when I've mentioned needing stuff, the car universe has kind of brought those parts around. So if you're in need of something and I have it, get with me. Or if you think I might have it, or even if you just want me to post it, put a post out and I'll share it if I don't have it.
Yeah.
Which that's worked out pretty good too. We got a transmission reconnected with somebody that they knew each other. He just didn't reach out to them. But us posting that they were needing a transmission, he found them. There was something else too, but we want to try to grow this to where it's not just old car stuff. That's what we have right now. But who knows? I mean, the opportunity that kind of led to the Model A coming back home was a 59 Apache.
Yeah.
Beautiful truck. Unfortunately, I don't have the money to go get it.
Yeah.
Or the space in the yard to put it if I would have got it.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
we're kind of at the point where something has to leave before something else comes.
Yes.
But it's not a bad situation to be in. I mean, it is when you look out in the backyard and you have to move chassis around and mow grass.
Yeah.
But also, in the very near future, my 2005 started as an Electra Glide Standard, now a Road Glide with new style saddlebags will be for sale or trade for a 2-car trailer. That is wide.
Yeah.
We have realized the Model A no longer fits on our trailer
Yeah.
because of how wide the rear end is with the offset. But that's dealing with your bullshit.
Yep.
So
Luckily, it won't be on the trailer for all the trips.
no, and I mean, we don't necessarily need a trailer right away. With that build slowing down and kind of relaxing. Other than January, that car won't really need to be on a trailer for a while.
Yeah.
Michelangelo fits on our trailer perfect, so. And he likes the trailer because the strap broke and he still stayed on the trailer. So.
Yeah.
But all right, baby, hit us with the dates.
Alrighty. Well, this weekend we have our monthly hangout at the Cove from 11 to 2, so definitely go check that out. The third Friday Cruising in downtown Inverness is next weekend, September 20th from 5 to 8, which you'll be attending.
I will be there.
And then going into October, we have Trash the Classics Rats and Rods Car Show in Okeechobee County Fairgrounds. That's going to be October 5th and 6th. It opens at 10 on Saturday.
Unfortunately, we're not going to make that show with logistics.
Not this go
But
around.
make sure you go show them some love. They got bands, VIP concert. It should be a good show.
Yeah. And then that same weekend, October 6th, is Sumter Swap Meet at Florida Classic Park. Opens at 7:30. And then October 18th is the Third Friday Cruising in Inverness again. And that same weekend, October 19th and 20th, is Slam Fest at Florida State Fairgrounds. Opens at 8 on Saturday. We will be there on the 19th, but not the 20th. The 20th, we're going to be at our monthly hangout at the Cove from 11 to 2. And then to wrap up October is Florida Drag Strip Riot Drag Race and Car Show in Orlando Speedworld Dragway. October 26th, opens at 7 a.m.
And make sure you tune in to the podcast. We don't know if it's going to be live or just on the podcast to announce, but JT with Misfires will be on September 26th.
Yes, very excited. And then, not to go over all the dates in November, but to bring up the Turkey Rod Run, November 28th through December 1st, we will be attending. We're very excited. And then, of course, rolling into January 4th, the show we've been talking about. Our first annual show, The Hangout, at Don Garlett's Drag Racing Museum from 10 to 4 on January 4th. First weekend of the new year.
Pre-registration's open. And where do they go to pre-register?
HotRodHangout.com.
Hell yeah.
Because we worked really hard on that. So go check it out.
Ashley did a very fantastic job. Well, guys, before we get out of here, we want to give a big shout out to BP Customs. Make sure you go check him out. They're going to start working on his truck. I don't know if it'll be after Slamfest, but he's got big plans in the works for that. So make sure you follow along on that build.
Oh, yes. And check out Throttle Addict using the code word HOTROD. You get to save 15% off.
And thank you again, Johnny Jalopy, Hot Rod Art. He is doing the logo for our show. And overall, just a badass artist.
Oh, yes. Very excited to see what he's got for us. And then, of course, we got to thank the Cove. Go check them out. Even when you're not coming for our monthly hangout, definitely give them a shout out because they are generous enough to let us use their parking lot. So thank you, the Cove.
And make sure you go show low-income clothing and low-income photo balling on a budget.
Oh, yes. And Rat Rod's Woodfire Pizza. We actually got the opportunity to go out and check them out in person. So that was very tasty.
Yep, very good. But he is the first official food truck for the hangout.
Oh, yes.
All right, guys. Well, that was the updates.
Yep.
Let us know what you're working on.
Yeah. Visit us on Tuesday on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Couple more times we'll be able to go live on TikTok.
Yep. We get there.
Slowly. Well, not slowly. That one's been the fastest growing. But
yeah. But it's all because of you guys, so thank you for listening.
Yes, thank everyone for the support. Till next time, guys. Get out and drive your shit. Or at least work on it.
See ya.
Later.